Here it comes! I've never built an Enderman farm. Even though I enjoy making farms. Even though a farm for Enderman is a good source of XP. Even though it would be a simple design, it's easy to make, and it's exactly the kind of farm I love. I've played Minecraft for years, started over in a new world many times. There's a method for progressing that I've developed over time, pretty much making the same farms in the same order every time because it just feels like the optimal way to do it. But here in Divergence SMP, I have permits for specific trading resources. Ender Pearls happens to be one of them. This gives me an opportunity to try something different for once. It's great that Minecraft has many different ways to get the resources you need. I looked up some YouTube tutorials for an Ender, and I found a couple of designs. I tried to make a design from a Silent Whisper video, and while building it, I found a few problems, and I'm not sure it was the best design after all. It takes advantage of the Bedrock Edition feature that mobs can spawn inside of scaffolding. The Enderman spawns on the top level where they immediately take damage from the water above the scaffolding. They teleport down to the platform of Flaming Netherrack where they catch on fire. Then they teleport down to the level where I wait to finish them off with my sword. While building in survival mode, I encountered a few problems that aren't pointed out by the creative mode tutorial I saw. I thought it'd be smart to light up the Netherrack platform after both platforms were built and before placing scaffolding on the top platform. But with fire spread turned on, the scaffolding was catching on fire because the flames of the platform below. I had to place scaffolding around the outside edges, then place water above it, then finish placing the scaffolding so it would always have water flowing over it. I also assumed incorrectly that if I built the upper platform as a basic square and put water along two of the walls, the water would fill in the whole platform. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way when flowing over scaffolding. In hindsight, it would have been better to just cover the floor in dirt, then place water on the edges so it would fill out the whole platform. Then I could have dug out all of the dirt and placed scaffolding. But instead, I ended up placing the water in key locations around the middle of the platform, then placed scaffolding underneath that. As long as I ended up with scaffolding covering the entire floor and water on top of all of the scaffolding, it doesn't really matter whether there's flowing water or water sources and what direction the water's flowing in. As soon as the Endermen contact the water, they teleport away anyway. Fortunately, I happen to have a lot of leaf blocks and use those instead of glass blocks. That's fortunate because it's probably a bug, but the tutorial video from Silent Whisper had glass blocks all over the place, and apparently Enderman can teleport onto glass. So the parts that I did build out of glass I had to cover over with leaf blocks to keep Enderman from teleporting onto it. But now that it's all built, I'm kind of disappointed by it. It does produce plenty of Endermen, but they don't take enough damage from the water on top platform and the fire below it. It takes 3 or 4 hits with my diamond sword to finish each one off. I asked Dig and Truce to help test it out because she has a sword with sharpness 4. My sword has smite 5, which does nothing for Endermen. It still took her about 2 hits to finish off most of the Endermen.
Oh, that is loud on the ears.
Yeah, if you go down by the chest, there's a lot of experience orbs that they take a while to get over there. You can probably go grab them. So you see the design here has water flowing over scaffolding on the upper platform. Below that, netherrack that's all burning. The Endermen spawn on the upper platform, take damage from the water, immediately teleport down to the platform below, and then catch on fire. And then they teleport down to this area here, where I just swing my sword at them to finish them off. So, having built that whole thing, I've decided I'm going to try using a different design. One that's a lot more popular. It uses less materials, and it will definitely make the Enderman die in one hit. But it requires using an Endermite as bait, and I'm not as confident about the spawn rates for it. It's originally a Java Edition design, but it can also work in Bedrock. Typically when someone says a farm will work in both versions, it's less than optimal for one of those 2 versions. I want to go out from this central pit 17 blocks on all sides. It needs to be as big as it can be, but I think larger than that on a sim distance 4, there wouldn't be any Enderman spawning. So I'm going to make it 17 away from the center. Same on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep, that's right. Okay. Now just fill this in, make a big square. Enderman actually showed up. Well, I was getting worried because Endermen were not spawning for a while. Now that they're here, they could start to pose a problem for me. Get in my way while I'm building this thing. Let's get out some coral fans. So I can trick the Enderman into falling into the pit. I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this. Bar there. Spot of dirt there. Railing there. Now, I need an endermate to spawn. I don't remember what the odds of them spawning when you throw an ender pearl. Maybe 10%. So you have to keep throwing ender pearls until an endermite spawns. Nothing yet. Okay. Well, not to worry. It annoys me that Enderman is spawning up here, so I'm going to light this up a little bit. Fortunately, I have the other Ender to get me more Ender Pearls. Oh god. Too hot. Coming in too hot. Okay, that's it. There. Grab a few stacks of Ender Pearls. That should do it. Oof. Alright, let's keep throwing Ender Pearls. Oh, I got one. I got him. I got him. Okay. Name him. And then put him in here. Okay, he's in there. Okay. He is named and he's in there. And that hurt a little bit, but not too bad. Okay. And then break that. Oh shoot, I accidentally broke the coral fan. I do have more coral fans, fortunately. Okay, so now that endermite is going to be bait for the endermen when they spawn. They can detect that endermite from a long ways away. According to the wiki, 64 blocks away. As long as they, like, look in that direction. And then they'll try to run over to get it and fall into that pit trap. Alright, I'm seeing some endermen spawning, and they do detect the endermite and run over into the pit. It's working. So I'm going to get rid of the rest of these torches. Ignore the screams of the Endermen. They're not after me. In this case, they're after the Endermite. This platform is 36 blocks across, so it's a 36 block by 36 block square. I think I've gotten rid of all the torches. You see when they spawn in, they aren't necessarily looking at the Endermite. They'll be looking left and right and behind them, and eventually they start to look at it. The farm should be working. Let's go down there and try it out. So this farm that my sword, it takes multiple hits to kill these guys. Anyway, you can see the experience orbs just kind of linger there. I can run along here to pick them up. Alright, let me try out the other farm. This is a much simpler design. It's just, it requires an Endermite. I had to name tag it. I had to arrange to get it in that minecart. But the Enderman should take enough fall damage that I can kill him in one hit. Let's see if this works. Oh, yeah. Oh, that works. It's obviously not as prolific as the Java Edition equivalent, because the spawning rates just aren't as good. Although I can't just punch them, I need at least a diamond sword. I can now say I've built an Ender. It's fairly easy as long as you're not too squeamish about working over the void of the end. If you're inclined to speedrun to the end as fast as possible, an Ender makes a lot of sense. If you've taken the time to get fully enchanted gear using other overworld farms before bothering to try to find a stronghold, maybe you don't need this farm. But with all the SMP server infrastructure projects I've been working on, I've been neglecting working on my base. You can see behind me the entrance to my hole-in-the-wall dwelling has been blocked off. The tunnel is condemned. Renovations of my base are underway. Hopefully, I'll show that off next time on Amon Chooses Divergence SMP.